Hello and welcome back to Crafty Meraki's YouTube channel. Aditi here, and today I am creating a clean and simple card using the Butterfly Bliss stamps and die. I love that at one single shot I'm able to stamp all the butterflies and die cut them and have them ready as elements for my card. I'm also pairing this with the Wavy Wonder Die, which comes in these three thicknesses. I have just die cut all of them with white cardstock, and I'm using two sizes for my card today. I want to create a rainbow look with this die and just have nice colorful strips. So I'm just using my Catherine Pooler inks and inking up each of this die cut with a different ink color, starting from yellow going on to shades of green, blue, purple, red, orange, pink, all of that. So just to create a nice happy looking rainbow with the inking. Now I just found that this was the easiest way to go about it. Definitely you could use colored cardstock and die cut these layers with that. However, since one die cuts 4 strips, I found this to be the easiest way to do it. So just adding inking to these strips and coloring them, I am going to get all of these ready so that I can layer them on my white card base. Now here I am focusing on the border, and by that I mean I intend to create my focal element and all the elements rather for this card just along the border, keeping the rest clean and simple. Now, sometimes this is a very tricky thing to do because it's very difficult to understand how much white space to leave on a card. And I think using a die like this really brings that ease on deciding that for a clean and simple card. And I'm going to quickly show you what I mean by that. So I'm using my tape runner, adding adhesive, just leaving half an inch from the spine of the card, and I start layering these border dies one next to each other, starting from the thin one, alternating it with the thick one. So that way I have alternating sizes as well as that gradient color full rainbow that I've created for myself. So I am adding all the 8 strips. However, you will see it doesn't take up so much space on my card, and my focus is now on this part of the card which is along the border. So layering that last one right there, I'm going to use my scissors and cut the excess overhangs and be done with that. And now for my butterfly die elements, I'm just using some watercolor brush markers and quickly coloring them, again using the colors that I've used for my border die. So bringing all the colors back, making these butterflies all the more colorful. However, I keep using a water brush pen to just fade off the color so that I have nice shading of dark and light on the butterfly instead of just making it one single color, to add a little more interest to these butterflies. So these will be my focal elements along with the border die that I have already used, and that way I didn't have to think so much. I still have a major part, like half part of the card, that is going to remain white, and the white space was easy to create in this manner. So with that said, I am going back to finishing the coloring of these butterflies, quickly adding colors, bringing in all the colors that I've used, and creating colorful, vibrant, multicolored looking butterflies for my card today. The Butterfly Bliss also comes in as the effortless artistry papers that I've used in my previous tutorials. So if you're somebody who does not enjoy coloring, I would suggest going in for the EAPs, because those are pre-colored elements and you can just die cut them and use them for any project, which makes it effortless and easy, of course. So with all the butterflies now colored, all I have to do is assemble everything. I am going to use pieces of foam tape and add them behind the butterfly. And I have just used my fingers to curl the wings just to add a little depth and dimension to, create that sense of flutter and movement on these butterflies. Now removing that backing, I am going to add a little dot of liquid adhesive and adhere these butterflies along the border but in different directions, making this illusion, or creating this sense of movement from the top bottom, or rather from the bottom to the top, almost as if these butterflies are fluttering by along the border that I had created. And if you notice, I've used three sizes, one big, one medium, one small. That also just adds to the card, giving me that white space and that perfect focal along the border. To embellish it, I'm using the Garnet Opal gems and just adding them along my butterfly. And I'm again alternating them, adding them in different sizes using my Bling Buddy and the Meraki sparkly tray, which I think is a must have. I also found it very easy to just put all the gems back into my jar from this tray without having them rolling all over my table and then me collecting every single gem. So that's something I love about this tray. And on to adhering these with the liquid adhesive. So like you saw, I first usually dry fit, see the placement. When I like it, I use liquid adhesive and adhere everything down in place. So with that said, I am on to the sentiment part of the card. And here is the twist. So I am going to stamp a sentiment from You Inspire Me stamp set along that empty space that I left on the border with black ink. And once I stamped one sentiment, I thought that there was enough space for another one at the bottom. So I go ahead and pick out another sentiment, stamp that along the bottom, and add another gem just in the center of those two sentiments, creating a nice little sentiment along the border for this card. So with that done, my card is complete and I've just worked along the half surface of this card, leaving the rest white. And I am very happy with how this has turned out, and here is a closer look at how that looks. I really hope that this inspires you and gives you ideas to stretch your supplies and to just create something different and unique. Until the next time, take care and bye-bye.